Hello and welcome to Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. Welcome to your week ahead TarotScopes with me, Intuitive Rene. We are doing the week of the 10th to the 16th of April 2023 using these amazing decks that I have on the table here in front of me. So this week, as I was preparing for the reading, I was drawn to doing a more oracle-based reading as opposed to the standard tarot. And I stood looking at all my oracle decks and I just grabbed 1, 2, and 3, sort of quite at random. And it turns out not so random after all. And then, of course, we can't just do oracle. So I have got a little bit of tarot to throw into the mix as well. So what I've done this week, right, is, as I said, I felt like I needed to do a more oracle kind of reading. And it was only once I had all the decks on the table that I actually saw the connection between them. So I'm going to take you through looking at what the decks are and see if you can also make the connection as to, you know, to see what the connection is. The tarot we're going to bring in only right at the end. So I am going to move these out of the way for now and we'll bring them back in just now. So the three decks that I have on the table here, let's start off with this first one. It comes from this beautiful deck. It is the Shaman's Dream Oracle by Alberto and Colette. Stunning, stunning, stunning deck. So that is Oracle deck number 1. This one in the middle here, that's got the as above, so below kind of reference. It comes from the Earth Magical Oracle by Stephen Farmer. Beautiful. I just love the artwork in this deck. Stunning. Actually, I like the artwork in all of them. And the last one that I have comes from the Goddess Dream Oracle by Wendy Andrew. So when I put them in front of me and I was like, well, what's the connection here? Because I just literally grabbed boxes. And the other thing is quite interesting is that this is a thick deck, a medium deck, and a thin deck, although they probably all have similar quantity of cards, but it's the card stock that varies. But we're going from big to small. So there's quite a lot of connections that I've noticed here. But we've got the Shaman's Dream, we've got Earth Magic, and we've got Goddess Dream. All of these are very grounded, very earth-based kind of energies. Even though Goddess Dream, it's a very earth-based, the imagery and the messages and everything. So it's almost like Spirit were guiding me to bring you all grounded messages this week, messages to bring us back down to earth, to just make us feel supported, loved, and nurtured, because that's what earth does for us. All right, so now the other way that this reading is going to work is I'm going to shuffle all three of these and draw a single card from all three of these before I start the reading. And I'm going to place them all face down, and it's only once I've shuffled all three of them that I'll actually start with the message, start with the reading. So if you don't really fancy watching the shuffling, you can fast forward until you see all the cards laid on the table, and then you can start listening and you won't miss anything. I'm going to just be babbling while I'm shuffling, doing my normal kind of thing. But if you want to fast forward through that, feel free to do so. Right, so let me put these out of the way. And we're going to start with this, like I said, quite a thick deck, and this is the Shaman's Dream Oracle, and let's give it a shuffle. So as I am shuffling, I am asking Spirit to connect with us, to draw near for all Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, for my water signs, those that are very much about nurturing and protecting and taking care of, those that like to keep safe, those within their realm. We're asking for guidance for the week ahead, the week of the 10th to the 16th of April 2023. Okay, let's cut the deck there. That was a good cut. And let's leave the card over there, not turning it over at this stage. Now we move on to our next one with this Earth Magic. As you can see, it's a little bit thinner, and the last one will be quite thin. So again, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, we're looking for some Earth Magic for the week ahead, 10 to 16 April 2023. Let's see what message of inspiration, of guidance, of clarity, of insight, of motivation, helpful guidance message for the week ahead. Okay, right in the beginning. And the last one, as you can see, is quite a thin little deck. But it's only because the cardstock, you can see, it's quite bendy and quite flexible, whereas the others were, oopsie, a little bit thicker. Looking for a single card for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Right, I'm happy with the shuffle, just a short shuffle. All right, so let's lay them out and let's see what is the message for the week ahead. We have got card number 2, which talks about the beloved, the heart. I love it. And it talks about radical acceptance, loving those keywords. Radical acceptance to me is like so powerful and probably just what you need to hear. Let's have a look. Next one we have the autumn equinox, which is the period of release. And of course, this is exactly what we are going through here in the Southern Hemisphere. So those of you who are in the Southern Hemisphere with me, we understand. For those of you in the Northern Hemisphere who are actually going through your spring equinox, you still have this essence of needing to release in order to progress. So it is relevant for all. And our final card that we have is card 23, which is the moon law, and below that it says the ebb and flow. So we've got acceptance, we've got release, we've got ebb and flow. Acceptance is like taking, release is letting go, the ebb and flow is both. I am loving this, absolutely loving this. And you know what, this is the cycle of life, isn't it? Just, you know, that sometimes, and I love that this is represented by fire here, because what I'm getting, right, so let me, I'm like, so I'm jumping woo all over the place. Calm down, Rene, I'm so excited, so excited. All right, so water signs, we have to start off with a radical acceptance, which to me is passionate, it's fiery, it's enthusiastic, it's inspirational, motivational, it's all of those kind of good things. But it is about recognizing that which inspires you, that which excites you, that which stimulates you. Okay, so it's not just about inward. To me, this is about the excitement, the passion, the enthusiasm in your life. I'm bringing into it the number 2, which is about 2 individuals coming together, partnering, connecting, joining. So that's why I'm saying that it's about the radical acceptance of what is outside of you and not necessarily what is internal or within you. So radical acceptance is basically saying to you to be very enthusiastic and be very proud and be very focused on the things in your life that bring you joy, that bring you acceptance, love, and happiness. But you need to be like passionate and fiery about that, but also understanding. And isn't it so amazing that in this particular card, if we look at the artwork, so the artwork is quite subtle, but there is definitely the sunshine and this fire kind of fiery colors and essence that's coming through. It's like the light shining on one thing, illuminating one aspect of a forest, one tree of a forest. And it is about the releasing and recognizing that sometimes we have to let go the things that are insignificant, the other trees in the forest. We're not saying that we don't love them, we don't like them, we don't value and appreciate them, but sometimes our focus needs to be, we need to accept that right now we can only do the one thing, that right now we need to let go of everything else and focus on one thing only. And understanding that this is the ebb and flow of life, and that sometimes we have more power here and less power there, and then it changes, and then we have more power in something else and less power in something else. Because the moon lord, just like our moon, goes through cycles every 28 days. It goes from full moon. We've just had a full moon now last week. We go from a full moon to a new moon to a full moon, and it's this constant ebb and flow. Life is full of ebb and flows, and sometimes what happens is we put so much pressure on ourselves to always be performing, achieving, accomplishing, succeeding at one thing, that we don't realize that we're in an ebb time in our life, which means you're not going to achieve much. All right, when you're in the flow part, that's when your achievements are like really heightened, and that's when you should put all your energy in. But when you're in a release, when you're in an ebb part of it, in the low aspect, that's when you shouldn't put that much pressure on yourself. So it is about understanding the ebb and flow of your own life, your own cycles, your own experiences, and learning how to work with that in accepting radical acceptance. It's not like, oh, okay, yes, I get that. It's like, I get that. You know, it's about that passionate, fiery energy of understanding what it is that you can do, what it is you can't do, when you can do it, and when you can't do it, and releasing and letting go, and not judging yourself negatively for when you have let go of something that needs letting go of. So water signs, I'm going to say to you, for this week ahead, the week of the 10th to the 16th of April, you're going to find, even though it's a 7-day period, even though it's just 1 week out of 52 in a year, you're going to find yourself this week going through many highs and lows. And you've got to learn to accept that, but you've got to learn to love yourself through those highs and lows, those ebbs and flows. And you've got to learn to let go of the things that no longer are relevant, that no longer serve you, that don't perform any function in your life. it's about there's a lot of judgment here, there's a lot of disconnect here, but there's a lot of just trusting, because that's what the moon is also about. It's about that trust. It's about that just accepting the cycles and knowing the cycles you're in. So again, I'm going to say to you water signs that for the week ahead, you are going to have many cycles of happiness and sadness, success, not success, right? I've refused to use the other word, but understanding it's just the flow. And when you accept that and learn to recognize it, you can actually learn to use it to your advantage, as opposed to trying to keep all the energies up high all the time. Because if you're trying to keep the energies up high all the time, you are just going to set yourself up for failure. And nobody wants to be doing that. Nobody wants to be experiencing that kind of failure. Right. So now what I want to do, so I want to bring my little tarot in. So these are my tarot tiles. There is an entire tarot deck in here, tarot deck of little stick figures. I'm going to draw a tarot card for each of these cards just to see how it wants to contribute to the message, confirm the message, acknowledge the message, or give us something completely different. So let's do. I'm going to shuffle it, maybe a bit noisy, but I want to draw for beloved, radical acceptance. A single card for beloved, radical acceptance. Right, I have one. And we're going to stick it there. Helps if I put it the right way up without bumping everything. Gosh, I'm terrible at this. Whoops. Oh, look what I did. Look what I did. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do, right? There's a whole bunch that have fallen out, but two are face up. So I'm going to take it as those two as the ones that I need. We're just going to go with it. So the rest of them, I am just going to put back into the little bag. And he is going to stay here, and he is going to go. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, my gosh. That is so interesting. That is so interesting. So, like, I'm just sort of, wow. We have got 3 major arcana cards, first of all. Let's just go there, which is, and the fact that these two jumped out, like literally jumped out of the bag, it's Spirit just confirming and acknowledging this is the message that we needed to give. Let's start. We have got the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is the karma. It's the fate card. It's the card understanding the cycles of life, that sometimes we are in a particular season, that sometimes we have to go through summer, autumn, winter, spring, that's just the cycle of life. And you have to just love that. You have to just accept that and understand that some things in life you have no control over. Some things in life you cannot change. Loving it. Here under release, understanding that you can't be all things to all people all the time. The card that we have here is the card of justice. It's the card of justice. It's the card of balance. It's the card of understanding that it is what it is. And that if you do bad, bad comes to you. If you do good, good comes to you. Understanding that sometimes it's just the wrong time and there is nothing that you can do about it. What does release mean? I just want to bring release into the judgment card. Release is basically saying to you that sometimes you have to just accept, release, let go, that you can't succeed, you can't win, you can't achieve, you can't do. And that sometimes you just have to accept that. All right. And sometimes you also have to learn that we have to lose things in life. We have to let go of certain things in life because it's just the time. Everything has a finite life. Everything has a finite level or existence or time frame on this earth plane. Whether it be a plant, whether it be an experience, whether it be a person who goes in and out of your life, whatever it is, understanding that sometimes it is just time to let go. And that's exactly the justice. The justice is about rules. It's not about emotion. It's not about feeling. It's not about needs, wants, desires. It's fact, fact, fact. And here, by the ebb and flow of the moon law, we have the devil card. We have the devil card. The devil card is about the things that we hold on to that we shouldn't hold on to. The devil card is the card that says that sometimes in life, you have to learn to either just play and be naughty and do things out of the ordinary, and that sometimes doing that is not a good thing. But the devil card is about the way that you respond to things, to situations and to circumstances. The devil card is saying to you that sometimes you can be so fixated on always succeeding, on always having things good, always having things perfect, that you battle when you're having the ebb in your life. Flow is the up, ebb is the down, okay? And the devil card is saying to you, understand that you cannot always be in a space of flow, that life is full of the ups and the downs, ups and the downs, ups and the downs. And if you're constantly trying to keep everything up, you're only setting yourself up for failure. You can't be doing that. I'm loving this, absolutely loving this. So water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, the next 7 days for you are going to be incredibly interesting. The energy around you is going to be, high highs and low lows. So just try to see, try to recognize, try to understand, and try to work within that instead of trying to work against it, because working against it is just not going to pan out for you. All right. Gosh, lots of love and blessings. Wishing you an amazing week ahead with lots of love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.